I'm having a sort of unique problem right now because I have run out of space in my Sims graveyard. I realize that sounds really, really bad, but this is my Legacy Challenge graveyard. So I built this lot as a place to put all of my gravestones for my Legacy Sims, and I've been playing with this family for 9 generations now. So I've had a lot of Sims, and so I've had a lot of dead Sims, and they're all here. You can see I have a very long line of pets. I had to like expand the graveyard out to fit them all. I feel like this part might seem like the most alarming section, but I've just been playing in this save for a really long time, so I've had a lot of pets over the years, and then obviously they all died of old age. Most of these Sims died of old age too, but not all of them died of old age. I even have a couple random graves, like I've got Vlad's grave for some reason. This one is the maid that died at my house. This is like one of my Sims ex-boyfriends, but I found his grave, so I brought it home with me. I also have like some cousins and stuff, but most of these ones are for like the actual legacy heirs over here. And clearly I am really, really running out of space. So we're gonna have to do something to fix this, and I think I might just need to rebuild the whole thing. I really wish that we had like an actual graveyard lot type in The Sims 4. We used to have graveyards in The Sims 3 and it was really nice. I realize that sounds very weird, but like it's just nice to have a place to bring all of these graves, because otherwise where would I put these? Like in my backyard, in my Sims inventory? I can't just carry around like 30 graves in my backpack. And I like having a place to bring them and like leave them so you can visit it and stuff. I don't know, it's just nicer to have this sort of thing. I'm kind of crossing my fingers that with this like so-called generations pack they've been teasing that we might get something like this, but I don't want to get my hopes up too much. I'm gonna quickly save like a copy of this in case I ruin anything. I don't want to like delete a grave by accident or something like that, so we'll just make sure we've got a backup, and then I'm gonna go through and delete like all of this stuff. Luckily these graves won't delete like at all, but I'm just nervous and I don't want to like ruin anything by accident. So originally I had this lot set as a museum. I'm not really sure why, maybe it's like a play on mausoleum or something, and I had built it to kind of resemble the Sunset Valley graveyard from The Sims 3, but I think we've kind of outgrown that, as we can see, so I'm gonna try something different this time. I also had a really cool like fountain section in the middle, and I kind of want to do that again too, but I might switch the lot type to something else, like honestly even a national park, although that needs a grill, and I don't really know if you're gonna come here and like grill up some lunch, but maybe. I could just put it as a generic lot. That is probably the safest bet, because then I won't have like any weird object requirements, which is maybe a good thing. Okay, well right now I'm trying to make what looks to be some sort of like rounded center part, and I think I'm gonna use a lot of hedge fences with this. Maybe I could do it like that big, and we can try and make this look really fancy or something with like a fountain or maybe a statue. I don't really know, but like even this kind of thing would be kind of a simple, cute centerpiece. Do I dare use the Star Wars pack stone? Because I think I might do it. I also want to scoot it further forward, but I need to be careful about not deleting the graves. Oh, that one's nicer. I think I want it to be very neat. Like I kind of like how I currently have a lot of the couples buried together, and also in like sort of an order, like the Gen 1 Sims, Gen 2, Gen 3, you know, but obviously I'm building this so I can put it on the gallery for you all to download too, and that way it's probably a little bit easier for you to like fill it up and use yourselves. Do I put like a fence all the way around the lot? Is that a good idea? I don't really like how it looks is the problem. This isn't gonna be pretty, so I don't know why I'm trying. We originally had like stone. Oh no, I need to be careful about this. I don't want to ruin the graves. Hang on. Okay, let me just leave them sat there. I don't think it helps that I'm building this in the vampire world, because this could probably be like kind of beautiful and not scary, but instead, because it's like in this weird dark scary place, it looks kind of scary. Oh my god, I really should have brought a sim here or something so that I could have them keep the graves, because just leaving them out like this and then trying to like decorate around them is probably not a good idea. But I'm trying to think how I want to organize this, because I feel like the back is maybe a good amount of space for me to put all of the heirs' graves, and then we could maybe have like on the left side all the pets, and then the right side could be like, you know, the other people because basically these little sets of graves are like the other people that aren't like the main Sims or whatever. Oh my god, I'm looking back at some of these and I'm like, oh no. Oh dear. Okay, well, Yikes. This one, dead by rabbit. And I even put a bunny next to it, which is kind of offensive. This one didn't even get like a description. This one drowned. That was my fault too. These people were just old age though. Like nothing problematic, nothing to see here. I'm not really sure how to like end the lot. So I might just leave it and have it have a walkway to the outside. Why do the swatches look like that? It's like there's a lighting glitch or something. You know what? I don't want one. It's fine. It's fine. I'm trying to think about how to best lay out these because this whole thing seems so excessive and like so chaotic, but I need to make sure we have room to grow. I know that sounds really bad too, but we just need to be realistic about this. I'm not done with the legacy yet. I currently have 6 Sims in my house that are gonna have to get buried here, plus any other pets they have, plus their kids, their partners. We're just gonna need a lot of space, which is why I'm building this now. I'm trying to make sure I like future-proof it. Okay, so right now I'm kind of thinking that I might put all of the pets' graves over here, and then I want to try and make it like cozier or something. I guess maybe if we got like some flowers, I put like a bench over here, that helps. I feel like originally I was going for slightly creepy vibes with this, but I think I want it to be like less unpleasant now. This is the pleasant rest graveyard, okay, not the unpleasant rest. I might be spending like way too much time trying to organize this, but this is how I've done the pet graves so far. I had a bunch of cute little things kind of placed in front of each of them too. Like this Sim's name was Cookie, so I put a cookie jar. This one, Kevin, was very smelly and always needed baths, so I gave them a bathtub. Gemma Lou is the one that just died, like the reason I'm making this graveyard. So she can have some flowers. I hate to say it, but I don't even remember some of these. Jim, Waffle, Megan. I don't remember you guys, but I will make sure you all have something nice anyway. Here, look, flowers. I also used to put like little bits of dirt in front of the graves. Is that weird? Look, I don't really know. I'm not exactly a graveyard expert. I'm just trying to make a spot for me to bury my dead Sims. So I feel like this'll do. That's a good pet section. I'm still kind of working out what I think the landscaping should look like because I don't want it to be too busy or like too much, but obviously I want to have like flowers and stuff everywhere. I do think I like these little bushes kind of lining the pathway. Oh no. Okay, what do I do about that? Maybe I need another big tree, like a big oak tree or something back there. Okay, I think I'm still struggling to figure out how I want to space this out, like how many I should put on each side and where they should be and stuff like that. Also, should there be like a pathway here? The problem with this is that these stupid little stones, first of all, I think it's so weird to have like a, I don't know, like a partially opaque stone. So I always try and fix that. But also the grass underneath this pathway is like a different color, which is, I don't know, objectively kind of weird. So that doesn't look very good. Now I'm wondering if some sort of pot might be a nice touch. Like if we did something like that to have some really pretty, like formally flowers out front. Oh, oh no. I never deleted this part. Oh, yikes. Okay, there was still some floating remnants of the original. Maybe there could be like a slight dirt path. I don't really like how that one looks, but maybe I could make myself like some sort of little path so it seems like people actually have been sitting over here. Cause well, hang on. Let me think about this. But I feel like this could be kind of cute if it didn't look so harsh. Maybe I could erase on top of some of that. I'm having a hard time. I feel like it's because this build is so simple that it's like very difficult to do. This also looks very bad because I have 2 graves for the same sim, but it's because Blake died twice, because Blake died and then got brought back to life and then obviously eventually died again of old age for the second time. So I've got 2 graves belonging to the same person. Blake's wife Anna hasn't died for the second time yet. She's still alive in her second chance, so she only has 1 grave so far. I hate to say it, but the vampire grave is like kind of throwing off the vibes too. Maybe I'll bury him somewhere special. Maybe I'll give him like a spot in the shade or something. Well, this section up at the front is full of the people that I don't care about as much. So I've kind of just laid them out like this. I feel like this is probably fine. Maybe I'll get a couple extra flowers or something just around. But like some of these people in the front here, I didn't even play with. They just like died on my lot and I got stuck with their graves. So I cannot be expected to like take care of them forever or something, right? I had to put them somewhere. I put them here. I feel sort of inclined to put a lot of effort into Vlad's grave. I don't know why, but I want to give him like some cute vampire stuff. Oh no, not that. I I don't know. It'd be nice if he had like a photo of himself. I could probably line that up over here. Oh, I can't rotate the photo like I can rotate the grave. Okay, I'll make it straight on then. That's as small as I can make it, but it is nice to have a portrait. And then maybe he could have like, if I put candles there, is it creepy? It might be a little creepy. Oh, I wonder if I could pretend that's a pot. If I put that and then I put like flowers on top of it, this might be like really a stretch, so hold on. But do you think that would look like the flowers are planted in there? Probably not those flowers. Does that feel like a plant, or does it feel like I just stuck a plant on top of a pedestal? Because that is what I did, but I want it to be cool. I could put a little bit of dirt there. That makes it feel a bit more realistic. I think I like how that looks. No, that kind of looks like a pot. Okay, I feel good about that actually. I feel like that's kind of cool. Maybe it could be done again. No, that's too much. Sorry. I thought maybe I could put it in the middle, but no, it was too busy. Put it at the end. My new plan is to put a pond over here. I'm gonna put a pond next to Vlad because I feel like he deserves something beautiful. Oh my god. No. Let me try and do that better. Oh, no. I never know how to make like the shape of ponds in The Sims because that just looks sad. Like that doesn't look good. I always end up trying to make it look like a bean or something, but I feel like that's okay. Unless it's too big. No, try again. Let's do like smaller somehow. That looks like pointy, which is no good. How do people do this? You know, there's a reason I don't really use terrain tools, and this is the reason. It's just really hard. Specifically, it's just really hard to make it look like anything. Like, this doesn't look good. It looks like nothing. Although, getting some little fireflies is probably a really good idea. I bet that would like really help with the vibes at nighttime here because it's kind of dark. Also, honestly, maybe just having some ducks would be kind of nice. Are they floating though? Maybe I can make it a little bit deeper. That is a circle. Why can't I do it right? Deeper again? No, that looks bad too. Okay, what if we like softened the terrain and then tried it? Also kind of a circle, but maybe I hate it less. If we put like some terrain paint under it and we layer like some dirt and stuff, should the water be like gross? I don't know. That's not really very pleasant, is it? This one looks like a photo of real life water to me. That's why I never want to use it. I would genuinely at this point rather have like a fake pond. Look at this. Look at all this undoing I have to do. Maybe that one looks better. Is that at all improved? I don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm going back. I'm doing the fake pond thing. I just can't do it. I'm gonna put a nice fake pond that I can, ooh, weird. What am I doing? Okay, let me make sure it's all the same height. I think that is fixed. There we go. Lovely fake pond that I can fish in. It's a little big though. Oh no, I don't know what to do. I think this is how I want to organize all of the regular graves. I've kind of got them in a bit of an order of like generation and stuff, and there's sort of some room to expand if I need to. I might just put a couple other little like decorative things like a tree, maybe a bench. I also do like these little flowers. I feel like that's kind of a nice touch. Should I bother making a pathway? Hard to say. I think it looks nice though. I feel like it's kind of a nice touch to have a little bit more like going on, because otherwise it's just kind of a big grass field. This is my final attempt at a pond, okay? I'm doing one last go, and if it doesn't work, then I give up. It's an oval. Oh my god. I have made good ponds before. Today's just not my day. Wait, that might be kind of good. It's not good, but it's fine. It's too small for ducks. They won't float in the water. Look, when I try and put the ducks, it's floating. I can't win. I'll put like some fish and some bugs and stuff. That's fine. I think even the lily pads are floating. Why is that happening? Like even those are floating. How deep does it have to be for it to work? I'm putting Vlad's special little grave over here in the corner. He kind of ruins the vibes of everything else, so I'm just gonna put him back there by himself. I also put like a little bench facing the pond right here, and I think I might leave it at this, although I might want to add in a few more lights because it's kind of dark out here and that makes it kind of scary. So if we just put a couple extra lights around, I could even hide some inside of the bushes over here just so it's not like as dark. Yeah, I think that helps because at least the path is mostly lit up so you can like walk around safely. And I'm gonna call it here and say our graveyard is done. Now when I post this on the gallery, ooh, lot challenge. Oh, it's spooky. Okay, that actually makes sense. That actually kind of checks out that it's haunted. Well, when I put this on the gallery gallery, obviously if you download it, it's gonna have like all of my graves, but you can just delete them and then like put yours there instead. It's just kind of nice to have a spot to bring everybody. If you play like I do and you've had like a long-standing legacy family, it sucks to not have anywhere to put their graves, so it's nice to have like a dedicated place. And I just have it out in like the vampire world because I never come here. But I think on that note, I'm gonna end this video right here. If seeing these graves made you at all curious about any of these dead Sims, I do have a legacy challenge that I play here on YouTube, and I can link the playlist for you. Please do not be alarmed or think badly of me because of this. It's just that I've been playing the save for a while. Some of them met maybe an untimely death, but a bunch of them died of old age, so it's fine. I swear I do not have a problem with killing Sims, although I realize it might look like that. Anyway, so on that note, I'm going to end this video right here, and I'm gonna leave, so I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? Bye, everybody. I'm embarrassed by how long it took me to do this. I feel like I didn't even accomplish anything. Like, it's not a big lot, it's not a fancy lot, but it took me so long to figure out how to lay it all out.